Okay, so thank you very much for such a relevant question. And I think that the proper answer to this question will need further research that could be a natural follow-up to the research that I've just conducted in Princeton in the last few years with my colleagues on climate variability and internal migration flows in South Africa. And actually, results of my research do suggest that climate variability, and by that I mean increases in positive temperature extremes and as well as positive and negative precipitation excess. So climate variability does amplify migration flows in South Africa. And another important results that we have is that there are certain categories of migrants, and in particular I refer to black migrants and low-income migrants that are particularly impacted, whose migration decisions are strongly influenced by climate variability. And instead, what we found is that white migrants and high-income migrants tends to have a much weaker impact in their migration decision. Another finding that we got is that agriculture may be considered as one of the possible channels through which climate change impact migration. And in fact, what we show is that adverse climatic conditions have a negative impact, a negative effect on agriculture, and this negative effect in turn tend to boost out migration. So stepping back to your question, I believe that the way we should think about this question is whether migrants are better off after migrating than before. And of course, there are a number of demographic and socioeconomic indicators one wants to investigate about that may be, for example, migrants' health or migrant safety, or employment conditions or salaries which interact with climate variability and are important to analyze in order to answer your question. And there are a number of other important issues related to that. For instance, what happens to the destination areas where, after migrants' arrival, or for instance, what happened to those who are left behind? Because, for example, in our research, we only focus on migrants, on those who actually migrated, but there could be people that are even more vulnerable to climate variability, but that have financial constraints preventing them from migrating. So, in conclusion, I think that this is a very important question, and it's a wide question. There are a number of other relevant questions related to that who all need further research for a proper answer. Thank you.